No one's coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your past glory. The truth is brutal, but it's also the beginning of something extraordinary. The only man who can change your life is the man who's broken right now. And that man is you. You don't need another motivational quote. You need a mirror. You need to stare at the man who let things fall apart and decide right now that he won't stay that way. This is not a video for comfort. This is not for the weak. This is for the man who knows he's fallen and is ready to crawl through fire to rebuild. Maybe life crushed you. Maybe you lost the job, the love, the fight. Maybe you're angry at the world or worse at yourself. Maybe you're stuck in the loop of shame, excuses, and silence. But there's something else inside you, that flicker, that voice, that whisper saying you were made for more. And here's the promise, you can become more. You can rise not by luck, not by miracles, but by discipline, by relentless consistency. By choosing suffering that sharpens instead of suffering that destroys, we live in a time where comfort is a god and discipline is a curse word. But the truth, discipline is the rescue rope. Discipline is the thing that saves men from drowning in their own weakness. You don't need another dopamine hit. You need to become the kind of man who does the hard thing because it's the right thing. This journey won't be easy. You'll be misunderstood. You'll walk alone. You'll be tempted to quit every single day. But through it all, you will forge a new man, a warrior reborn from the ashes of his own mistakes. You don't get to opt out of this. The pain is here whether you act or not. So use it, channel it, let it refine you. There is no savior coming, but there is a savage within you waiting to rise. Welcome to the rebuild. You want to rebuild your life. You want to rise from the ruins. Then the first thing you have to do is this: look in the mirror. Really look. Not the quick glance you give yourself before leaving the house. I am talking about standing there face to face with the one man responsible for where you are today. It is easy to blame others. Your boss, the economy, the woman who left, the father who did not show up, the world that feels unfair. But the most painful and powerful truth is this: you played a role in your downfall. Somewhere along the line, you made a choice, ignored a warning, avoided the work, or abandoned a responsibility. And no one else can fix that but you. The first step in rebuilding is not external. It is internal. It begins with radical self-accountability. It means owning the fact that the life you are living right now is the sum of your decisions, not your intentions, not your dreams, your decisions. David Goggins, a brutally honest voice in self-transformation, once said, "You are the common denominator in every failure of your life." That is not an insult. That is an invitation. Because if you are the problem, then you are also the solution. And that realization holds real power. Your rock bottom is not a dead end. It is the foundation. It is the ground you build on. Because when there is nothing left, there is nothing to lose. That is where clarity begins. That is where hunger is born. That is where warriors are forged. So stand in the mirror. Do not flinch. Do not look away. Ask yourself the hard questions. Where did I give up on myself? What am I pretending not to know? What have I been avoiding that is killing me slowly? The answers will hurt. That is the point. Pain is the doorway. Pain is the signal that change is necessary. Use it. Too many men lie to themselves. They drink, they scroll, they distract, they pretend. But behind all of that is a man who knows he is meant for more. And he is terrified to admit he has been living beneath his potential. That changes today. The man who is willing to confront his own failures is the man who is ready to win. Not tomorrow. Not next year, but now. He does not wait for someone to rescue him because he understands that no one is coming. You have to become your own savior. This is not about shame. Shame says, I am broken and cannot be fixed. Responsibility says, I am broken, but I will fix this. The moment you take full ownership of your life, something shifts inside. Your shoulders get heavier, yes, but so does your strength. You begin to see opportunity where you once saw only excuses. You stop waiting for motivation. You start building momentum because the mirror does not lie. And once you start facing it every day with honesty and discipline, you begin to see someone new staring back at you. A fighter. A man who is not rebuilding just his habits, but his entire identity. This is not the beginning of your comeback. It is the beginning of your becoming. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment, the ideal mood, the right energy. But here is the truth that separates broken men from warriors. Motivation is a myth. It is inconsistent. It disappears when things get hard. But discipline remains. Discipline is not about how you feel. It is about what you decide to do regardless of how you feel. The world has sold you the lie that you must feel inspired to act. But warriors know the opposite is true. Action creates inspiration. Discipline builds momentum. Think about this. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. A spark flickers for a second and dies. A fire stays alive because someone keeps feeding it. That someone must be you. Take Kobe Bryant. He was not the best because he always felt motivated. He was the best because at 4 a.m. while others slept, he was in the gym. While others were distracted, he was drilling the same moves thousands of times in silence with no applause. That is discipline. Discipline is showing up when it is raining, when your body aches, when your mind screams at you to quit, when nobody else is watching. That is when it counts. That is when warriors are made. You see, your body wants comfort. It is hardwired for survival, not excellence. It wants sleep, sugar, ease. Your emotions want escape. They will convince you that you need a break, a reward, a cheat day. And if you follow that voice, you stay average. But if you shut that voice down and act anyway, you win. Every single time you do what you said you would do, even when it is hard, you build self-respect. You build trust with yourself, and over time, that trust becomes unshakable confidence. Discipline is not glamorous. It is the decision to do the boring, difficult, painful thing every day until it becomes your identity. It is brushing your teeth when you are tired, showing up to train when no one is watching, saying no to things that feel good in the moment but destroy you over time. And here is the beautiful irony. The more disciplined you are, the less motivation you need, because you have built systems. You no longer wait to feel like it. You just do it. That is freedom. That is strength. You want to be a warrior? Then stop chasing feelings. Start building discipline. Replace every excuse with action. Replace every hesitation with movement. Stop saying, I do not feel like it. Say, I do it anyway. In the end, the man who wins is not the most inspired. It is the one who refused to quit. The one who acted every day whether it made sense or not. That man becomes unstoppable. Rebuilding your life is not about one massive change. It is not about a single breakthrough or a dramatic comeback that turns everything around overnight. That is fantasy. Real change is boring. It is slow. It is painful. And it is worth it. The warrior rebuilds his life like a craftsman, brick by brick, step by step. He does not chase the next big thing. He builds a foundation so strong that even if everything crumbles again, he knows how to rise. Start with what you can control. Do not wait until you feel ready. Do not wait until things are perfect. Begin now. Begin small. You are not going to wake up tomorrow and be unrecognizable, but you can wake up tomorrow and start stacking victories. Make your bed. Go for a walk. Read 10 pages of a book. Drink water instead of soda. These sound simple, too simple. But that is the point. Simplicity done with consistency builds power. Discipline in the small things leaks into everything. You are not just rebuilding your habits, you are rebuilding your identity. Every action you take is a vote for the man you want to become. When you choose to wake up early, that is a vote. When you train even when tired, that is a vote. When you say no to distractions, that is a vote. And votes accumulate. They turn into self-belief. They turn into momentum. At first, nothing will seem different, but keep going. In a week, you will feel slightly better. In a month, you will walk differently. In a year, you will not recognize the man in the mirror. There is a man who lost everything. His job, his marriage, his health. He hit rock bottom. And for a while, he stayed there. But one day he picked up a book, just 10 pages a day. Then he added morning walks, then cold showers, then a budget, then journaling. None of it was impressive on its own, but together it rebuilt him. Today he runs a business. He leads his family. He trains with discipline, not because he found some secret, but because he committed to the small things. He stopped chasing dramatic change. He started building himself one brick at a time. That is the blueprint. You start with what is right in front of you. You do not need a 10-year plan. You need today's task. The rebuild is not about speed. It is about direction. Are you moving forward or staying stuck? And let me be clear, there will be setbacks. You will fall. You will miss days. You will fail. But that does not mean you start over. It means you keep going. One failure does not undo 100 victories. The only thing that destroys your progress is quitting. Track your progress. Celebrate small wins. Be proud, not because you have arrived, but because you showed up. Most people never do. Most people talk. Warriors act. Warriors show up even when no one notices. And slowly, something shifts. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to believe. The shame fades. The clarity grows. You become someone others can depend on. Most importantly, you become someone you can depend on. Do not rush the process. Be patient with your pain. Respect the journey. The man you are becoming is built in silence, in repetition, in the sweat of your daily discipline. This is the rebuild. It is not a comeback story. It is a construction project, and you are both the builder and the material. You are shaping yourself into something stronger, something better, something unshakable. So take the next step. Lay the next brick. Show up again tomorrow. That is how warriors are reborn. You looked in the mirror. You took ownership. You built discipline. You started to rebuild. Now there is one last thing to do. You finish what you started. Most men quit in silence. They give up when no one is watching, but not you, not anymore. You have already taken the hardest step. You have faced yourself. That is where the rebuild began. This journey will not always feel epic. It will be messy, quiet, painful. But each day you show up, you are building a man no one can break. A man of steel on the inside, calm, clear, dangerous in the right ways. You do not need anyone's permission to rise. You do not need applause. You need to keep going. That is what separates you now. Not talent, not luck, just action. Relentless, disciplined action. The warrior you are becoming lives in your decisions, in the way you carry yourself, In the standards you set when no one is looking, do not stop now. You have come too far. Let others doubt. Let others rest. You move forward, quiet, unshakable, committed. This is not motivation. This is your code. This is how warriors are made. By doing the hard thing every single day until it becomes who you are. So finish. Finish strong. Finish with fire. Finish what you started.